and Bush that. They even got Kanye West who said that black people don't matter. Kanye West is growing up, by the way. That's why I have Blexit there as a hashtag, because Kanye West used to think like most other blacks, that Republicans all hated black people. And they were able to push that message with Katrina. They pushed that narrative. Well, now they tried it again with Puerto Rico, only this time, instead of having Karl Rove command George Bush to, let the media set the narrative, Donald Trump came out in front and said, no, I sent the relief aid. I've sent aid to Puerto Rico. I've tried to help Puerto Rico. The problem is the local politicians. And this time, the local politicians in Puerto Rico at the time, they forced their governor there to resign, and they forced other political operatives to resign, and it turns out that there was an earthquake that happened, I think either this year or last year, and a bunch of people started running around looking for supplies, and they found out in the warehouses that these Democrat politicians had taken the resources that had been sent to Puerto Rico and they'd put them in a bunch of warehouses to make their own people suffer so they could blame Trump. So Trump is not accepting the narratives that go around that that every time minorities suffer, it's because of him. He's refusing to accept that narrative, and he's standing against it. He's fighting against it. But the problem is there's still a lot of people that believe in Black Lives Matter in these other racial organizations. There's other organizations besides them. There's the NAACP, the ACLU. Here in Arkansas, we have the Advocates for Children and Poor Families group, and they're basically nothing but cowardly leftists that trying to find a way to get more money and power to government and blame conservatives and hate on conservatives, hate on Republicans, hate on Republicans in general, and especially conservatives. And they're cowards on this issue, and they keep doing this over and over again, and they get away with it. And what I'm sad is I see a lot of young people there getting this, being told that Black Lives Matter actually cares about black lives. They don't care about black lives, because if they did, they would be standing in the front and the office of some of these crooked local politicians. They would be going after these idiots in Flint, Michigan. Remember what happened there? The water apparently contained lead, and it was because of crappy water systems. And they had to get water bottles over there. And of course, they tried the same thing again. They tried to blame Trump. And then Trump says, no, it's not the fault. It's not my fault. It's these crappy politicians. Hey, Ashley on YouTube. Y'all can go to my YouTube page, Keep Arkansas Legal, where I'm also live streaming this if you don't see your comments here. There's ways to put on a, what do you call it? Double screen or split screen, but I don't know how to do it. I don't have this. I have a computer, but I'm using my phone to do this. Oh crap! And I'm trying to put comments on YouTube, and I'm well above the limit here. Hold on just a second. Of course. Y'all, I'm actually putting up my Fundly page. If y'all like what you see here, you can donate to fundly.com. My Fundly page, it's like Kickstarter or GoFundMe. I've had problems with those and trying to fund. And that's what I was about to get to, Kevin. That's another thing. Of course, adult blacks are usually killed mainly by shootouts over cocaine. That's brought in from the Mexican border from bridges that Trump should have blown up. And yes, I do disagree with Trump, and I think he should have done more to do that. I think he should have dynamited the bridges that connect America with the narco state of Mexico. And if you do trade with Mexico, whatever financial benefit we get, it's not worth it. Same thing with boats in from China. Should have shut off all trade with them and trade with legitimate countries. Yeah, I can disagree with Trump and still vote for him. You have the ability to do that. Hey, Billy. Hope things are going good out there. I think it feels like a sauna outside. I was out there for just a little bit. I'm also on Parler and Gab, for those who don't know. Yeah, like, share, and comment. Feel free to let other folks know. But anyway, the thing that kills more blacks than anything, boy and girl, and any other gender. No, wait, well, I don't believe in there's being more than two genders, but is abortion. Most blacks are murdered before, as unborn, thanks to the same court system that declared black people property a little over a century ago in the Dred Scott case, declared unborn people inhuman, and thus allowed them to be murdered via abortion. And it's bad enough if that were just the case in and of itself, statistically, but it gets even worse. The main organization that pushes for abortion is a group called Planned Parenthood. The founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, was what's known as a eugenicist. They believed in killing off they believe in population control, which is a nice way to say they want to murder millions, if not billions, of people to supposedly preserve the earth and make the world a better place. And the people that Margaret Sanger wanted to murder were mainly minorities and immigrants. She even had a plan involving that where she would have Planned Parenthood either murder unborn children or sterilize blacks, and then have a lot of the black leaders try to hide what Planned Parenthood was doing. There's a quote attributed to her which said, "We can't let the Negro know what our plans are," or something to that effect. And you can look up and get the exact quote if you want to. Margaret Sanger was a racist eugenicist, and Planned Parenthood has put her plan into action. There's two pictures on the wall, and it's resulted in the deaths of millions of people, and many of them black, disproportionately more in terms of percentage than, not as much as whites, but disproportionately more in terms of percentage of blacks killed as regard to the general population. There's two pictures on the wall. I want to show them to you. One of them is Ronald Reagan, and I think that's him at his library. That's from Young Americans for Liberty. And Ronald Reagan did a lot to fight against the deep state. He tried to reduce the size and scope of government, but of course he had a Democrat Congress, and he tried to get rid of the Department of Education, but it wasn't able to. But he did a lot of efforts to fight against the government. And even though he was older when he was president than Joe Biden was now, he actually had his mental faculty in check. He was a lot sharper. And then the other guy is Osama bin Laden, but if you were to zoom in on it, you can see a little white spot. Those are holes inside of him. That was done via my 9mm and Jan Morgan's AR-15. I got that from the gun cave over there in Hot Springs, which is run by Jan Morgan, which is now open, by the way. Jan Morgan is the conservative